This Shabbos is Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, which is one of the 5 Tanesim that we have during the year. However, since it's Shabbos, the fast is nitcha, it's pushed off, and the fast starts Sunday morning with Alois. However, besides it being Shavasa B'Tammuz, there's another halachas that are applicable to Shavasa B'Tammuz. Shavasa B'Tammuz begins the 3 weeks, the dinim of Yemei Bein Abtzarim, the halachas of Bein Abtzarim. We're going to try to be mevar to clarify if the dinei Bein Abtzarim go hand in hand with the tainus, which means since the tainus, the fast of Shavasa B'Tammuz, on a regular year, starts in the morning of Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, do the dinim of the 3 weeks also start only in the morning? Or, even though the tainus only starts in the morning, when it comes to halachas of the 3 weeks, weddings, haircuts, it starts already by night. The halachas start already by night, Leil Yud Zayin, Leil Shavasa B'Tammuz. And from there, we're also going to move on to see how the poskim speak about this Shabbos, if there's any halachas, applications, dinim that are negeya to the 3 weeks. This Shabbos, Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, which is nitcha. First, let's speak about on a regular year. The first question that we mentioned, on a regular year, Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, any day of the week, Shavasa B'Tammuz. When does the 3 weeks start? Do the 3 weeks start in the morning, or do the 3 weeks start already the night before? Ramosha and Tshuva had this question. Somebody asked them, could they make a chasana, or could they make a wedding the night of Shavasa B'Tammuz? The dates, it starts getting pretty tight, finding a hall, and they wanted to know if they could make a wedding. For whatever reason, they wanted to make it Leil Shavasa B'Tammuz. Could you make a wedding? And a different Shuvi speaks about taking a haircut, shaving. Could you do it Leil Shavasa B'Tammuz at night, which maybe the 3 weeks only start in the morning? So Ramosha answers, Le'isat Tzoyrich, it's mutter. If need, it's not l'tchatchilu, you can't go ahead and do it, but if you need be, you're allowed to make a wedding, you're allowed to take a haircut, you're allowed to shave, Leil Shavasa B'Tammuz, the night of Shavasa B'Tammuz, which on a regular year, if it falls out on let's say on a Sunday, so Motzei Shabbos, can make a wedding, haircut, u'chedoima. He bases the psak on a machlekes rishonim. There's a machlekes rishonim, the Ramban and the Baal Hamor. Every tainus, the Yisei Aneinu by Ma'ariv Leil HaTainus. Every of the Tanesim, Ashkenaz, that we say Aneinu only by Mincha. Do you say it also the night before Ma'ariv when the fast starts, or even technically before the fast starts? Do you say Aneinu? The Ramban says you say Aneinu by Ma'ariv, and he brings a raya from a Tosefta. The lashon at Tosefta is Pa'amim she'ein adam shari b'tainus. A person is not fasting, umespal tfilas tainus, and he davens the tefillah of a tainus, which means he says Aneinu. She'adam, upa'amim she'adam shari b'tainus. A person's fasting, ve'einu mespal tfilas tainus, and he doesn't say a tefillah of a tainus. Explains the Tosefta, what does it mean that you're not fasting and you still say tefillas atainus, which the Ramban understands means Aneinu. When is that? That's the night before, Ma'ariv before, one's not fasting yet, you only start fasting in the morning, and still a person, you say tefillas atainus, which means you say Aneinu, the Ma'ariv before the fast. Ma'ashenkin, the Ma'ariv motzeh the fast, you haven't broken your fast yet, and still you don't say Aneinu. That's what the Tosefta says. Adam shari b'tainus, a person's fasting, and even though a person's fasting, you don't say Aneinu. So says the Ramban, you see that Ma'ariv before the fast, you say Aneinu. However, the Ramban asks, Lamaisa, we only start fasting, the tainus only starts in the morning. So if the tainus only starts in the morning, why do we say Anenu by night? Why do we say Anenu by night if the tainus only starts in the morning? So he explains and he says like this. We're going al atzad that you do say. The Machaber in Shulchan Aruch says you do say, but we're going with the Shitas HaRamban, which is the Shitas HaRif that you say. Rabbi Cheskel is right. Like I mentioned before, the minig of Bnei Ashkenaz is not to say only by mincha, but the Ramban, which is the Shitas HaRif, says you say Anenu even by night. How do you say Anenu by night? L'chayra, you're not fasting yet. The tainus only started in the morning. So he explains that really, just like in Kol HaTorah Kula, the night goes with the day. You don't split the night and the day. It's one day. Even though you'll tell me, Dalad Minim you take by day, Shofar by day, the some mitzvahs by night. That's not because the Torah says to take it the first day of Sukkot and only by day is Sukkot. It's because the Torah says do it by day, eat matzah by night. But you don't find, if there's a din of tainus of a certain day, why would you split the night out of the day? Well, how would you split the night out of the day? So he explains, says the Ramban, that really the fast starts already by night. But just like you find by Tisha B'Av, but the Chazal were makel and made it easier on people that you don't have to fast by night. You only have to start fasting in the morning. Why? How would they makel? It's one full day. Since the derech of people is to eat 12 hours a day, which at least maybe that used to be the derech. The derech was to fast 12 hours, to eat 12 hours a day, I guess from in the morning to the evening, those 12 hours a day. Memela, since the derech is to fast those 12 hours, to eat those 12 hours a day, they made of tainus only for those 12 hours a day and not by night. And that's why the din is that if you go to sleep by night, it's brought in Shulchan Aruch. If you go to sleep by night and then you wake up 2 a.m. and you want to go and have a snack before the tainus, you're not supposed to eat. The tainus started already. Unless you make a t'nai before, but you're not supposed to eat. If the fast really only starts in the morning, so what's the problem if you get up 2 a.m.? The fast only starts in the morning. Why can't you have a snack at 2 in the morning? So the teretz is because really, technically, the fast is by night also. The fast is by night as well. They were makel to put the fast only to 12 hours, but really it's by night as well, and therefore if you go to sleep, a person shouldn't eat, and therefore also the din is the Kabbalah's tainus is already by mincha, even though the Gemara says in tainus daf yud beis that a person is supposed to makabel the tainus as close as the tainus as possible. So if the fast only starts in the morning, why are you not makabel the tainus by ma'ariv? Why by mincha before? The teretz is because technically the fast really, in essence, starts by night already. But poyol, we don't start fasting till the morning. So that's the Shitas Ramban. To sum it up, the Ramban says you say Anenu by night, and the reason why you say Anenu by night is because it's a fast day. You say Anenu by night because it's a fast day. The Balamor argues, and the Balamor says, no, the tainus only starts in the morning. So that's why the Balamor says that you don't say Anenu by night, because the tainus only starts in the morning. Says Ramosha, back to our question, when does the 3 weeks start? Since the fast only starts, Shavasa B'Tammuz, on a regular year, the fast every year, the fast only starts in the morning, like the Balamor. Since the fast only starts in the morning, the 3 weeks also only start in the morning. And he says, could be even the Ramban will also be maskim, which means the Ramban says that, in essence, the tainus starts by night. But since the Avelis, you don't really start fasting till the morning, could be the Ramban will also be maskim, that when it comes to the 3 weeks, it only starts in the morning. And even if you want to argue that the Ramban says not like that, it's a minig, the 3 weeks is a minig, and when it comes to minig, well, we're noyig lekula, and therefore says Ramosha, la'esat soyrach, a person could be makel to start the 3 weeks only in the morning. Just to bring out the chiddush of Ramosha, that he ties it to the fast. When it comes to the 9 days, by the 9 days, the Magen Avram says, it's brought in the Mishnah Brura, that those that are noyig not to eat meat, wine in the 9 days, it starts already mishach hashecha, it starts by night. So technically one would think the same thing should be with the halachas of the 3 weeks. should also start by night. But says Rav Moshe, no, it starts with the fast, which is in the morning. Therefore, le'esat tzoyrach. Why only le'esat tzoyrach? Why can't, if we saimach on the Baal Amor, why can't you l'tchatchila go ahead and make a wedding Shavasa b'Tammuz by night? One explanation could be the Rabbi says, brings the shlah, that a Baal Nefesh should really start fasting by night. By every time, a Baal Nefesh should start fasting already by night. Therefore, if really a Baal Nefesh should start by night, which means either because we paskin like the Ramban, or even the Baal Amor agrees to the Baal Nefesh, since Baal Nefesh should be machmer, so therefore only le'isat soyrach, one could be makel on the dinim of Shavasa of the 3 weeks to start only in the morning. So Shavua Shechalba is lagabe the dinim of the 9 days. If they don't, they don't hold it at 3 weeks.
They have to fast, but they don't have to do it.
What'd you say?
They only hold Chicago.
I don't know. So what do we have so far? By night, it's mutter le'esat soyrach. But says Rav Moshe, even though I say that haircuts and weddings is mutter only le'esat soyrach, there's another din that's negated at 3 weeks, and that's the din lagabe making shechiyanu. The Shulchan Aruch says, the Machaber, toiv li zar meloyme shechiyanu bein amtsarim al pri oy al malbash. A person should not toiv. It doesn't say that it's aser, but it's toiv. It's better a person should refrain from making a shechiyanu in the 3 weeks. Just to zoom in this halacha for a moment, the Machaber says one should not make a shechiyanu all of the 3 weeks. The Goyen argues, and the Goyen says you could make a shechiyanu. And the Taz goes somewhere in the middle, and he says the Shabbosim of the 3 weeks you could make a shechiyanu, and not on the weekdays, which the Mishnah Berurah actually paskins like that. Shabbos you could, not on the weekdays. So back to the din of shechiyanu. There's a din. The Machaber says not to make a shechiyanu in the 3 weeks. Says Rav Moshe, when it comes to the night of Shavasa b'Tammuz, on a regular year, the night of Shavasa b'Tammuz, which I say, lagabi weddings and haircuts, only le'esat soyrach, only when you need to. But when it comes to shechiyanu, you l'katchila make a shechiyanu. When it comes to shechiyanu, Shavasa b'Tammuz by night, you can make a shechiyanu. The chida, why? Very good. Shkoyach for asking, why taka could you make a shechiyanu? Since these are machloikis and the whole din about making a shechiyanu in the 3 weeks, the Goyen says you can make a shechiyanu the whole 3 weeks. And says Rav Moshe, even lagabi the other dinim, I'm really makel like the Baal Hamor. So b'tziruf, that shechiyanu is b'chlal, not so simple that you're not allowed to make a shechiyanu. The Goyen says you could always make a shechiyanu. Says Rav Moshe, for the night of Shavasa b'Tammuz, you can for sure make a shechiyanu. We're going to get into the reason why yes to make, not to make, but first let's just get the psak din. You can make a shechiyanu a night of Shavasa b'Tammuz. The Chida in Sefer Chaim Shoal, the Chida says that even the night of Shavasa b'Tammuz, you can't make a shechiyanu. You cannot make a shechiyanu. Rav Moshe says the other dinim by night is only le'esat tzorach. Shechiyanu you could do l'tchatchila. But says Rav Moshe, just a minute Yitzi, says Rav Moshe, however, a year like this year, that Shavasa b'Tammuz is Sunday Yud Ches Tammuz, over there it's pashut that this Motzei Shabbos, tomorrow night, it's aser to make a wedding, it's aser to take a haircut, and it's aser to say shechiyanu. It's only a year, Shavasa b'Tammuz, a middle of the week, and we're discussing the night before, there's a difference between a wedding and when it comes to shechiyanu l'tchatchila. But tomorrow night already is not Shavasa b'Tammuz, is already into the 3 weeks, and the Mela you can't, not shechiyanu, not a wedding, not haircuts, everything's aser.
no dinim problem.
Oh,
If you're not from Shechianu, so probably argue with this true. But
very good. You're bringing up that maybe lafida chida, maybe making a wedding and a haircut would also be aser. Let's see the reason why the chida. We're going to explain shortly why the chida says you can't make shechianu, and we're going to see if it's applicable agabi a wedding also. Excellent that you brought up, and let's down it up to see if he actually argues agabi a wedding to be makel the night of Shavas B'Tammuz.
Why is Shechianu the only bracha that's existing? Or the other bracha that means the other brachas that are...
Let's discuss that in a minute. What's the reason why not to say Shechianu Yitzi? And let's see if the question is a question. Yitzi wants to know what's about other brachas, Atoiva, Meitiv. Let's see the reason for Shechianu. We'll get to it in a minute. I first want to get to the dinim, and then we'll go into the reasons. So we have so far that a Shavasa B'Tammuz by night, a wedding, a haircut, only b'di'evid. Shechianu, Ramosha says you can even do a l'tchatchila. Now let's move on to Shavasa B'Tammuz, like this year, which falls out Shabbos. Are there any dinim that are negeya to Shavasa B'Tammuz, to the 3 weeks that are negeya Shabbos? Now, obviously, a wedding is not negeya, a haircut is not negeya. What is yes negeya? Shechianu. So let's see what's the din of Shechianu lagabi this Shabbos. To be able to dan up the din of Shechianu for this Shabbos, let's first see what's the reason. What's the reason why we don't say Shechianu in the 3 weeks? The pashtas, the reason why you don't say Shechianu in the 3 weeks is because of Avelis. Since it's weeks of Avelis, we're starting to be Mas'abel on the Churban, so you don't say Shechianu. However, the El Yerabah, just for a second before the reason of Shechianu, we want to know what's the din about this Shabbos. So far we saw already for Friday night. Tonight we saw a Machloikis, Ramosha and the Chida. The Chida says that you don't say Shechianu even tonight, and Ramosha says tonight, Leil Shavasa B'Tammuz, you could say Shechianu. Let's try to see the reason why you don't say Shechianu in the 3 weeks. If the reason is because of Avelis, like we said, which would come out that if the Avelis technically would start, you don't say Shechianu. Means if there's already Avelis starts now Shabbos Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, then you would not say Shechianu all of Shabbos, Shabbos by day, maybe even Shabbos by night. Ramosha says it only starts in the morning. The El Yerabah asks an interesting question. That's a good question about no Avelis for Shabbos. We'll get to that shortly also, and we'll see about the other weeks. But technically there is Avelis. We'll see right away. The El Yerabah asks a question. The El Yerabah asks, why don't we say this Shabbos, the Haftarah, these 3 Haftarahs of before in the 3 weeks, the 3 Haftarahs before Tisha B'Av. So asks the El Yerabah, a year like this year that we have 4 Shabbosim before Tisha B'Av, why don't we have 4 Haftarahs? On a regular year we have 3 Haftarahs. Why a year like this year don't we have 4 Haftarahs? The El Yerabah says that the Avelis of the 3 weeks only starts Sunday. The Avelis only starts Sunday, and it continues for 3 weeks. And the Avelis of the 3 weeks continues through next Shabbos and the following Shabbos and the following Shabbos, even on Shabbos. So the following 3 weeks, we taka say the Haftarah of the 3 weeks because it's of Avelis. But the Avelis only starts on Sunday. Another such a din, the minig Ashkenaz by the Yakis is by the 3 weeks they sing a song, a nigun otzov, a sad song for the 3 weeks. So the question was, what should they be noyig about this Shabbos? This Shabbos is already technically, it's the 4th week. It's an extra week. Should you sing this Shabbos also l'chadoidi? Should you sing b'nigun otzov? And the answer was, in the Tshuva Svarim, they speak about it. The answer is that we sing it because of Avelis. But since the Avelis only starts Sunday, so Mela, this week it's still a regular week. A nigun, not a nigun otzov. So what do you see from here? You see from here that the Avelis only starts Sunday. So if the Avelis only starts Sunday, technically what should come out is that this whole Shabbos you should say Shechianu. Means if the reason not to say Shechianu is because of Avelis, and Avelis only starts Sunday, you would not say, this Shabbos you would be able to say Shechianu.
For sure, if you'd make early Shabbos, then saying after Shkia. In other words, if you make early Shabbos, for sure it doesn't start till after Shkia. Saying with this the sad song, for sure I'm saying even if it wouldn't be like this, if you make early Shabbos, Mistama, it wouldn't.
Only a Yankee shouldn't get question.
No, you're saying you want to know if you make an early Shabbos this week, if they would sing it, if they would.
If the minute would be to do the sad song, you probably shouldn't do it if it's early Shabbos because for sure it doesn't start till after Shkia.
So
bring in Shabbos.
the truth is that when you make an early Shabbos, it starts already l'chol davar. It's everything. If in 2 weeks from now, Friday is Rosh Chodesh Av, and you say Ya'alav V'Yaveh, when you make an early Shabbos, it's already night. You don't say Ya'alav V'Yaveh. If it's the 9 days and you don't eat meat and you make an early Shabbos, you eat meat. So it's noig l'chol davar. Unless you want to say that here it's the other way around because it's Avelis, so it's more l'kula not to do it. Pashas, if you make an early Shabbos, it's dinim. But it's an interesting question, Yeshua, asking if you make an early Shabbos, that you bring it on early. Let's see the other side and we'll revisit it. The other side, so what do we have so far? So far we have over here that if it's al Avelis, just a second, if it's al Avelis, there's no Avelis this Shabbos. The Magen Avram, however, says that the reason why you don't say Shechianu, is because it's a Zman Pronius. It's a Zman Pronius for Klal Yisrael now, starting Shavasa B'Tammuz till after Tisha B'Av. It's a Zman Pronius. And as Zman Pronius, you don't say Shechianu v'kimoni v'giyonu l'zman hazeh. We're not happy that we made it to these days as Zman Pronius. Yeah, Yitzi. You asked before about a Toiva Meitiv. I don't know about a Toiva Meitiv, but Shechianu, to say Shechianu l'zman hazeh, it's a Zman Pronius, says the Magen Avram, you don't say Shechianu. It's a Zman Pronius. So I don't know, Yeshua, what you asked before when you make an early Shabbos, I don't know if you start Shabbos early, does it mean that Shabbos is... If Zman Pronius already starts this coming Shabbos Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, I don't know if the early Shabbos brings on a Zman Pronius earlier. That's something in... Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You should not make an early Shabbos if a Taka does bring on the Zman Pronius. But says the Magen Avram that the reason why you don't say Shechianu, the reason not to say Shechianu is because it's a Zman Pronius. So what would come out is that if it's a Zman Pronius, you should not say Shechianu, not tonight, not tomorrow, because as Zman Pronius starts, Yud Zayin B'Tammuz. And the truth in the matter is, the Yavitz says that this Shabbos one should not say Shechianu. He actually says all Shabbosim, but even Kolshkin this Shabbos you don't say Shechianu. And the Chidah, like we mentioned earlier, the Chidah explains why should you not say Shechianu this Shabbos. He says the following: just like every Shavasa B'Tammuz, when it doesn't fall out on a Shabbos, on a regular year, when Shavasa B'Tammuz falls out a regular day, by night you don't say Shechianu. Why don't you say Shechianu? Not like what we mentioned from Ramosha. Why don't you say Shechianu? The reason not to say Shechianu is because even though the fast starts in the morning, it's already a Zman Pronius from by night. Physically, we don't fast till the morning, but the Pronius is already by night. That's why says the Chidah, that by night already not to say Shechianu in any year. So he says the same would be this Shabbos. This Shabbos, which is not the fast is only Sunday, but just like on a regular year, you only start fasting in the morning, but don't make a Shechianu by night because it's a Zman Pronius. Says the Chidah, tonight, tomorrow, it's a Zman Pronius. Since it's a Zman Pronius, you don't make Shechianu. That's the Shitas HaChidah and the Shitas HaYavitz for this Shabbos, not to make Shechianu. Not to make Shechianu. V'idach, the Magen Avram, in that same Sif Cotton that he says that the reason is because of Pronius, says the Magen Avram that Shabbos you could make Shechianu. You could make Shechianu this Shabbos. We're talking about only this Shabbos. We're not talking about other Shabbosim. That's a discussion for itself. We want to know about this Shabbos, tonight and tomorrow. Could you make a Shechianu? Again, the Yavitz, the Chidah says you don't make a Shechianu. Not by night, not by day. And the Magen Avram says you do make Shechianu. And the reason why you make Shechianu, l'cha'ira the pshat is because the Zman Pronius only starts Sunday. The Zman Pronius only starts Matzah Shabbos. So maybe you do make Shechianu, which would come out Yeshua that if the Zman Pranis only starts Matzah Shabbos Sunday, you definitely don't have a problem making early Shabbos because there's no Zman Pranis this Shabbos, and therefore one could make a Shechianu. So we have a machlokes if this Shabbos you do say Shechianu the Magen Avram, and Chida says you don't say Shechianu. It's interesting. The Yavit says a lashon. The Ein Sarach Loimar. He says you don't say Shabbos ever. The Ein Sarach Loimar this Shabbos. In other words, this Shabbos is even worse. Even if you'll tell me the next Shabbosim you could make a Shechianu, this Shabbos the Ein Sarach Loimar. This Shabbos you for sure can't say Shechianu. Why is it for sure that you can't say Shechianu? Explains in Stei Chemed, he brings from Sefer Zechoyer LaAvram Avigdor a reason why this week is worse. And he says, since this week is the beginning of this Man Peronius, it's where it starts, it's more Chamer. L'chayr because of Schalta the Peronius. But since it starts now, even if you're going to tell me next Shabbos, it's okay, but it starts now, you can't make a Shechianu. So that's the machlokes if you could make or you can't make Shechianu. We saw a third shita, the shita of Rav Moshe, that for this Shabbos by night you could make, by day you can't. So again we have three shitas. We have the shitas HaMagen Avram that you can make tonight and tomorrow Shechianu. We have the shita of the Yavitz, of the Chidah, that you cannot make Shechianu, not tonight and not tomorrow. And then we have the shita of Rav Moshe that says that tonight you could make a Shechianu, and tomorrow you can't make a Shechianu. Just mamash a second, Rabbi Chesko. The Stei Chemed says a svara why to split tonight and tomorrow, and he says because he's a svek sveika. One suffix is that by night, any year, by night he's a tzad that you can make a Shechianu, like what Rav Moshe says. He doesn't bring like what Rav Moshe says that you could make a Shechianu by night. And another tzad is, there's actually a few sveikas, and then there's another tzad that b'chlal this Shabbos you can make a Shechianu like we saw the Magen Avram. So it's a svek sveika to be mater by night a Shechianu. So maybe tonight you can make a Shechianu. So just to be masakin what we have over here. Lagabe Shechianu this Shabbos, some hold that you cannot make it at all over Shabbos. Some say you can make it over the whole Shabbos. And then there's a third shita that splits tonight and tomorrow. And then we also spoke about Shavasa B'Tammuz in general, do the 3-week start by night or by day. Says Ramosha Le'esat Tzairach, you could start in the morning. And that's only lagabe a wedding and a haircut. But when it comes to Shechianu, that l'tchatchila you can make already. You could l'tchatchila by night you can make. Yiratzin that these days should be neshapach l'sasan l'simcha. Have a good Shabbos.